didn't realize the drive had already happened until I saw the receipt. It was sitting on my desk at 3:17 a.m., warm from the printer beside my laptop. Timestamp 2:04 a.m., location the 24/7 quick stop off the highway, but I hadn't left my house yet. At least, I didn't think I had. 4 years of night shift coding had rewired my brain. Midnight felt like noon. Silence felt productive. That night, like most nights, I was deep in work when hunger hit all at once. Sharp, urgent, distracting. I checked the time, 1:52 a.m. I grabbed my keys, same routine, same drive, same empty road cutting through fields and dead radio signals. The quick stop sat alone under fluorescent lights, like it always did, glowing in the middle of nowhere. Inside, the air smelled like burnt coffee and reheated bread. I ordered a sandwich and wandered the aisles while I waited. That's when I saw him. A man sitting cross-legged on the floor in front of the refrigerator, brown coat, jeans, facing the glass like he was studying his own reflection. I almost ignored it. Then he moved, not gradually, not naturally. He snapped his head toward me like he'd been waiting for that exact moment. His eyes were too wide, his mouth slightly open, trembling, not angry, not smiling, just watching. The kind of stare that makes you feel like you've already done something wrong. We locked eyes for maybe 3 seconds. It felt like minutes. I turned away first. My order got called. I grabbed the bag and left without looking back. That should have been the end of it. Just another weird late-night encounter in a town where nothing ever happens. But as I pulled onto the highway, I saw movement in the mirror. Someone sprinting across the parking lot. Brown coat, a truck engine roared to life behind me. Headlights snapped on, then they followed. At first I thought it was coincidence. Rural roads do that. One car for miles, then suddenly two. But the headlights got closer, faster, too fast. He started flashing them, honking, riding my bumper. I sped up. He matched me. I slowed down. He stayed glued behind me. Then he rammed me, not hard enough to spin me out, just enough to let me know it was intentional. Panic does strange things to time. Seconds stretch. Decisions happen without permission. I swerved, braked hard, and he shot past me, overcorrected, and disappeared into the dark field beside the highway. Silence returned instantly. Just me, just the road, just my heartbeat trying to escape my chest. I drove home shaking and called the police. Gave them everything I could. Location, description, time. They said they'd check cameras at the quick stop. A week passed. No update, no callback. I tried to forget it until tonight. 3:17 a.m., same desk, same laptop. That's when I saw the receipt. Printed, warm. Timestamp 2:04 a.m. A sandwich I hadn't gone to buy yet. I checked my car. Bug splatters on the windshield. Fresh skid marks on the tires. A dent on the rear bumper that hadn't been there yesterday. And in the passenger seat, a second receipt. Timestamp 2:06 a.m. Different total. Different cashier ID. I checked the security app connected to my door camera, scrolled back. At 2 a.m., my car pulls out of the driveway. At 2:22 a.m., it returns. Driver's side door opens, no one gets out. The door closes on its own. Lights turn off. Car locks. I'm still inside the house on camera at that exact same time, sitting at my desk, typing. I went back to the quick stop the next night, asked the cashier if anything weird happened last week. He looked confused, said the cameras had glitched for about 20 minutes around 2 a.m. that night. Then he asked why I'd come back twice. I told him I hadn't. He turned the monitor toward me and scrubbed the footage they did have. There I was at the counter, brown coat guy standing behind me, both of us staring directly into the camera. Except the version of me on screen never blinked, never breathed, never moved, just stared. The cashier paused the frame, zoomed in. "Your friend waited outside for you both times," he said. "Friend?" I asked. He pointed at the parking lot feed. The truck. Engine running. Driver inside. brown coat, wide eyes, watching the door like he was waiting for someone to come back out, waiting for me, or the version of me that already had. I didn't pick her up. That's what I told the police. That's what I told my boss. That's what I told myself for the last 4 years. But every receipt, every mile log, every GPS ping says I did. The problem is, I also have proof that I never stopped. Summer 2022. I was 25, running overnight logistics across the Southwest. Refurbished PCs, server parts, expensive components to places normal carriers wouldn't touch. Long roads, empty highways, the kind of driving where the road feels less like distance and more like time. That night, I was on Route 82, cutting through the dark near Lincoln National Forest. 1 lane each way. No streetlights, no signal. No alternate routes unless you wanted to add 2 hours and risk running out of gas. It was around 1:03 a.m. when I saw the red hatchback. Hazards blinking, hood up. A woman standing beside it with her phone raised like she was trying to catch a signal from the sky. The universal sign for stranded. The universal setup for don't stop. I slowed anyway. Cracked the passenger window, asked what happened. She rushed the door handle immediately. Locked. Then leaned down and asked for a ride to the next station. Voice shaky, eyes not quite focused. She kept saying, "Just drive, please, just drive." Everything felt off. Then I saw movement behind her car. A man stepped out from the darkness like he'd been waiting for a cue. Another figure appeared in the road ahead, holding something long. Pipe? Bat? I couldn't tell. That's when instinct took over. I hit the gas before my brain finished processing. But here's where things don't line up. Because my dash cam shows I never stopped. The footage jumps from empty road to me already driving past the red hatchback at full speed. No pause, no conversation, no passenger door opening. Yet I remember unlocking the door. I remember her getting in. I remember her smell, gasoline and cheap perfume. I remember her digging through her purse. I remember drawing my gun and telling her to freeze. I remember the silence after that, thick and suffocating. And I remember dropping her off at a gas station 27 minutes later. Except the GPS log says I drove that entire stretch without stopping once. No passenger weight registered on the seat sensor. No door open alert. Nothing. Still, when I reached the next station and checked the passenger seat, I found them. A battery from a burner phone. A sealed pack of zip ties wedged between the cushions. I threw them away. Told myself I'd imagined half of it. Fatigue does that on 12-hour drives. Your brain fills in gaps. Creates conversations that never happened. I never reported it. I finished the route, got paid, moved on. Until last month. My old company shut down and liquidated equipment. They mailed out archived dashcam drives to former drivers. Liability reasons, data retention, whatever. I almost threw mine away. Instead, I plugged it in. The footage from that night is mostly normal. Empty road, podcast playing, my hands on the wheel. Then at exactly 1:04 a.m., the video glitches, static for 2 seconds. When it clears, the passenger seat is occupied. She's sitting there, facing forward. Perfectly still, hands in her lap. I never opened the door in the footage. She's just suddenly there, like she's always been there. For 27 minutes, she doesn't move, doesn't blink, doesn't speak, just sits. At 1:31 a.m., we pull into the gas station. I get out. Walk around the truck, open the passenger door, the seat is empty. No one steps out, no one walks away. But as I lean inside, the camera catches something in the reflection of the window. A man standing behind me, brown jacket, holding something long, watching. When I turn around in the footage, there's no one there. The timestamp freezes for half a second, then jumps forward. The rest of the drive home is uneventful. I check the metadata on the file. GPS coordinates embedded in the video. At 1:04 a.m., when the glitch happens and she appears in the seat, my truck is still 10 miles away from where the hatchback supposedly was. meaning if she got in. It wasn't there. I went back last week. Same stretch of Route 82, same bend in the road, no hatchback, no shoulder, no place to even pull over safely, just trees, dirt, and a small wooden cross by the roadside I must have missed before. 2 names carved into it, a woman and a man. Date, June 2022, the exact week of my route. Underneath, carved smaller, they stopped for rides. I checked my old mileage logs when I got home. That night's total distance was off by exactly 27 minutes of driving. Distance that doesn't exist on any map. Sometimes, when I review the footage now, she's still there in the seat during the glitch. Other times, she isn't, but something always is, because every version of the video ends the same way. At the very last frame, just before the camera shuts off in my driveway, the passenger door unlocks on its own, and someone or something gets out. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe for more weekly horror. On screen now is the most recent upload and the most viewed story on the channel. Pick your next one carefully, and remember, some stories are better not listened to alone.